Hello and welcome everyone. This is Race on Oz TV. My name is Nick and we are getting set for Pan Am Racing, North American League. That are going to be doing 70 minutes around Zolder tonight. So I hope you're all well. I hope you've all been having a great weekend. But we are going to be kicking off very, very shortly with 70 minutes around the 11 turn, 4.01 kilometre. I should really work that out in miles considering our audience. But anyway, that's what we'll be doing tonight. In terms of the race format, it's going to be 70 minutes around Zolder. No refueling this evening. And there are 2 mandatory stops as well. So there is a tyre change required in there too. So that is the race format. Let's take a quick look at the circuit itself. So as mentioned, it is 11 turns, 4.01 kilometers. Some very interesting corners around here, especially through turn 2 and turn 3 into the long right-hander again of turn 4 as well. So it can be a bit of a tricky track to master, and especially given the new update that came through last week as well. Some of these guys might find the going a little bit tough perhaps. Lots of Porsches, lots of Ferraris and lots of Lamborghinis in this field, with just a smattering of Mercedes and Aston Martin in there as well. And even the BMW thrown in. Lots of new names as well, so that's always good to see. Mixed in with some old names as well, so I think that's an indication of the health of the league. So looking forward to this one kicking off very, very shortly. It did have a start time of 9 p.m. Eastern, so we are fast approaching that right now. Let's go have a look at the live pictures if you like. It's saying there is 6 minutes remaining. But what often happens is that the lobby will generally be reset at the scheduled time, which is about 90 seconds away from being done. You can see I'm Not Jimmy there up the top with a 1:29.520. So a cracking time from him so far in that Lamborghini. We're watching Steve Young. He was the last out race winner. So we did the Valencia race last week. You had a little bit of good fortune at the end, but you've got to be in it to win it. You've got to be there to get the good fortune, and he was. So a great result for him. So he'll be looking to maybe go back-to-back before the championship season kicks off. The summer championship for the Northern Hemisphere, I believe, is kicking off next week according to the event schedule. So this will be a good little precursor to that and getting everyone warmed up and ready to go. And we can see Kenneth Smith is now pipped Jimmy there at the top of the times. As we come to the closing moments of free practice, so we'll see if the server does get reset in about the next 20 odd seconds. Plenty of cars out there on the circuit. Black. That doesn't look like a normal carbon fibre livery. Team name is black, so I'm going to go with it. Everyone does have a livery tonight, which is good. So Chris Rise was in the chat earlier saying he's ready to take flight tonight, so we'll see where he comes out. Juan Carez as well. That's what I like about this league. There's a lot of countries that I don't normally see from this part of the world. So Sean Vincent, he's a Pan Am regular. He's been around for a long time. As we come to the closing stages of free practice, Dylan King in the Iron Lynx 91 Lamborghini. Andrew Sherman as well. He's an Australian, I do believe. Jared King as well. Oh, we've got a Bentley in there. Wow. That's a rare sighting. Don't often see Bentleys in PC leagues. We've got an Aston Martin. That's Sosa in there. Holgado in on the Ferrari. And we've got a few others, Bradley and Stu Skinner, another Australian in there. But it was Kenneth Smith in free practice. Yeah, fingers crossed we get this one going shortly. It did say 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Free practice will start. Race expected to start at 9:20 after qualifying. Damien Sig just coming in. No, he's going out now. Well, might as well use it as an opportunity. Let's go for a bit of a walk, shall we? Alright. Quite overcast conditions as we have a look at the circuit. So this is the... I don't believe that's turn 1. No, it's definitely not turn 1. I was going to Google why they have the big wind turbines here, but you can see them scattered throughout. This is your turn 1 here. Obviously the pit straight through there. And then you've got that right-hander. It's a tricky part of the track coming through there. Got some solar panels there. Yeah, we'll see what the weather does. I don't know what I didn't see weather settings. I know what the race settings are. Possibly could see some rain. Track is optimum 23. Doesn't look like there's any rain on the forecast. So we come to this chicane part of the circuit as well. This is up through 7 and 8, Villeneuve and Talarman. Not really, I don't know if it's an overly popular circuit, Zolder. Not one of my favourites, that's for sure, but you know, each to their own. Lots of forest, lots of greenery around. So, less than a minute left of practice. That gives you a little bit of a tour of the track. Just a few cars now left on the circuit. And we should be getting underway in 30 odd seconds now. So watching a few cars just finish up their laps now. Guess it gives you a bit of an idea of the terrain around the circuit. That's someone coming into the pits. Alright, cool. So Damien Sig just finishing up. So Kenneth Smith ending up there on top of the times of 1:29.377. So a great time to him. Just get my mouse back here. I think I'll go here and go drive. Yeah, there we go. Alright. There we go, that's a bit better.
Green light, give it all you can.
Alright, let's drive. Here we go. Alright, cool. So, qualifying is about to begin. 15 minutes of quali. It looks like it's I don't know. Narey Simhan, I believe. I do apologise if I've butchered your surname. He's going to be the first car out on circuit in the Ferrari. Obviously, the new Ferrari coming with the update. Lots of changes, especially to the tyres. Suspension, dampers as well. Obviously a couple of new cars in there, which is always good. A new track. Ooh. Just familiarising himself with the clean chicane. Klein chicane. Who else is out there? Here we go. So they're all filing out now. Jeremy Eastcott. Dylan King. Jared King. Perhaps related. Won't speculate. Could just be happy coincidence. That's a nice looking Mercedes, isn't it, from Andre Robinson. Ryan Valentine with the number 1 on his car. Just trying to see who was the first one out. It was. Alright, here we go. So, Arjun. I'll call him by his first name. It's a little bit easier. Arjun. Soren Racing Team. Alright, what sort of time? So we saw a 1:29.377 in free practice. Let's see what he can come up with as he's just coming through. He's had a turn 4 there. It's a much better line through the chicane than we saw on his previous lap. Making his way through turn 7. This is the Villeneuve chicane. Very, very tricky. Doesn't invalidate his lap through there, so I don't think lap invalidations are really much of an issue around here. And now through turn 9 here. Looking good so far. 1:29.377 was the best time in free practice. That belonged to Kenneth Smith. Let's see what Arjun does as he makes his way through the final turn now. Short run to the line. 1:29.870. So that's pretty tidy. That's only half a second off what we saw in free practice from Kenneth Smith, who is not far away from crossing the line. There he is in the Mercedes, in fact. So he does a 1:30, not as fast as what he did in free practice. This is Sosa. So this is a name I've not seen before. And he crosses the line, goes up into P6. What about Chris Rice? Says he was ready to take flight tonight. Let's see what he can do in the number 21 Porsche. Goes up into P9 for now. King coming in behind him. What about Guran? I apologise if I've not pronounced your name correctly there. Valentine coming through. Sean Vincent. Wrong car. Juan Carres. So right now it's Narasim, the number 45 Porsche, up in P1, replaced by Juan Juarez straight away. So he takes P1 right now. What about Steve Young? Last time out, race winner. He goes into P3. So great time from him in the Porsche. What about with Sharpenberry? Let's see what he has in the number 296 Ferrari. He goes up into P1, so cracking time from him. Jeremy Eastcott doesn't improve on his time. What about Devon Anthony? We've got less than 10 minutes remaining in this qualifying session. Most cars have set a time. Still got a few out there that have yet to do so. This is Sosa coming through. He's up on his best time right now. Who else is out there? King. He's 7/10 up. What's happened to? So I think he's just Kenneth Smith just looking to teleport back to the pits. This is King. He goes up into P10. Nice work from him. What about Valentine? He's half a tenth up. Kenneth Smith's still just there at the moment, so I wonder if he might have a little bit of an issue at the moment. What about Damien Sig? This is going to be his first time lap. Seeing the window wiper there fluttering in the breeze in the 444 Ferrari. So Sig, I don't think he's going to improve on his time. I don't believe he set a time yet though, so that's hard to do. There he goes, P14. Who else do we have out there? Eastcott as well. He's up on his best time. 2 tenths, 2.5 tenths. He goes up into P6. Nice work from him. What about Devin Anthony? He's 6 tenths up on his best time. He goes up into P6 as well. It's a very popular position right now. What about King? He's 2 tenths up on his best time. That'd get him almost on the second row of the grid. He's just lost a bit of time there, so no good for him. Just some guys teleporting back to the pits there. What about Guaren? He's 3 tenths up on his best time. And that will move him into P10 for now. Sean Vincent, he's 4 tenths up. So we've got plenty of green on the screen right now. 7 minutes and 40 seconds left. Vincent, currently 15th, moves up into 14th. Nice time from him. What about Steve Young? He's half a second up on his best time. Could this be pole position right now? Provisional pole anyway. If he remains on this time. And there it is. So he goes into P1. So a great start there from Steve Young. This is Jeremy Eastcott in the number 19. Sorry, in the the number 19 Ferrari. He's in P12 right now. 2 tenths up on his best time. Let's see where that can move him. Moves him up into P9 for now. He's having a good run of it at this stage. Andrew Sherman down there in 16th position. He's 5 tenths up. He was 5 tenths up. Should move him up possibly top 10. 13th for now. What about Kenneth Smith? He was fastest in free practice. He has a best time of 1:30.260. He was about almost a second quicker in free practice. He'll be hoping to replicate that time right now. Looking on my screen, I don't think he is. It's only a 10th up on his best time. Lost a little bit more time there out of the final turn. And he remains in P15 for now with just a tick over 6 minutes left in this qualifying session to set the grid for the 70 minutes of Zolder. Here's Juan Carres. He was 4 tenths up and he goes up into P2, front row of the grid for him. Plenty of red now filling up my screen. Might go to Valentine. No, let's go to Mike Patrick. So his best time's a 32.2, but he's a couple of seconds up on that right now. Follow him through. We go on board. Through turn 11, named after Jackie Hicks. And where does he come out, Mike Patrick? He comes up into P8, so great stuff. This is Sosa. He's currently sitting 17th. He's just a little bit of time there. And I don't think that's going to do his times any good. What about Holgado? Currently P19. About 8 tenths up on his best time. That should move him up a couple of spots at least. And, it doesn't in the end. Alright, so he remains down there. Carres, he's 2 tenths up, so could we see a new pole position sitter right now? Fernandez as well, and the 888 Ferrari is up, who's currently sitting in P3. So Carres is going to go into P1 for now. He does, but how long does he have it for as Fernandez crosses the line into P2? So Carres holds on right now. 4 minutes and 20 seconds left, so the qualifying session is starting to wind down. Damien Sig in the 444 Ferrari. He's a couple of tenths up on his best time. I should see him improve at least one position. He goes up 2 into 4th. So nice work from him. Here's Arjun Lakshmi. Sorry, Arjun. I do apologise. I'll have to get better at pronouncing your name. P6 for now. He doesn't improve on his best time. Fernandez, we pick him up flying through the chicane there, and funnily enough, he's still almost 2/10 up on his best time, so he's chasing down Carres. They are both on identical times, a 28.900. I think this happened the other week, I think, as well, so I'm hoping it's not a glitch. And yeah, I don't think it is, because they have different sector times. So Fernandez almost half a second up on his best time right now, just to tick over 3 minutes remaining in this qualifying session now. So time starting to slip by faster and faster as he comes through the final turn, turn 11. Half a second up, so he's going to take pole position here. And he does. So Carres and Steve Young still in the pit, so they might think we're done here for now. He was fastest man in practice, Kenneth Smith. 2/10 up on his best time. That's not really going to be enough to move him up, unfortunately. He's at least 4/10 away from the 45 Ferrari. And Fernandez has gone again. It is currently up on his best time as well, a 1:28.487. So significantly faster than what we saw in free practice from this man here, Kenneth Smith. He's half a second up on his best time right now. Looks like Fernandez has had an issue and he's called off that one. Sig's out there, McSharpenberry and Lakshmi, but they're nowhere near improving on their times right now. So we'll stick it out with Kenneth Smith as we approach the final 2 minutes of qualifying, where we're setting the grid for the 70 minutes of Zolder. You're watching Pan Am Racing on Roos TV. Kenneth Smith, can he improve? I don't think he's going to improve enough to move up a position. He will improve his time, but he will remain in P7 for now, and I dare say that's probably where he's going to start the race from. We'll have one more lap to get it done. And everyone else out there, now he's pulled out of that one, so that's his qualifying session in the books. This is Jared King, currently sitting P10 right now, 2/10 up on his best time. That could move him up a couple of spots as well if he holds his pace. Still a long way to go in the lap. A few other cars out on circuit, so McSharpenberry and Lakshmi, they're both not improving. Sig is only up minorly right now. Another one is Eastcott, I'll keep an eye on too. I noticed 4 cars down the bottom there, Lee, Skinner, Alvarez and I'm Not Jimmy. Yet to set a time. So perhaps just happy to sit this qualifying session out, as Jared King just lost a bit of time there. He was on for a faster lap, but he won't be improving at this stage. So 30 seconds left in the session, and it's all sort of petered out a little bit. It was all one and done earlier on in the books. Here's Sherman, he moves up into P15. Chris Rise, he will rise in the standings up into P17. And I think that is about it for now. Lakshmi out there as well. He's down on his best time as we go 000. Jared King having another crack. He was almost 2/10 up on his best time in the Sol Bentley in the field. And Lakshmi just losing a little bit of time there. And he crosses the line. So he's going to start from P6. What about Eastcott? One of the last few drivers out there. There's about 5 of them right now. Make that 4. The only one that's really up on a time is Chris Rise. We'll get to him in a moment. We'll just watch the end of Eastcott as he makes his way across the line. He's not going to improve. Let's duck over to Chris Rise. So he pretty much almost have the circuit entirely to himself. Pushing that Porsche through the final turn. going to improve on his time, and he goes up into P8. So nice work in the dying stages of the session. In fact, after the score in 000, and he's going to start in P8. But it was this man here, Will Fernandez, is going to be starting the race in P1. Carres in second, and Steve Young in P3. It was Sig, McSharpenberry, Lakshmi, Smith, Rise, Vincent, Patrick. That's your top 10. We've got 24 in the lobby right now, but that was a great qualifying session. Well done to Fernandez. A 128.487, so faster than anything that we really saw in free practice. And we will be back in a few minutes for the 70 minutes of Zolder. We'll be back very, very shortly. Alright, we're back. You can see not too far away, so we're less than 3 minutes before we get things back underway. Give us an opportunity to go for a quick look here. Here we go. Have a look at the grid we've got right here in front of us. So it was P1. It was Wilson Fernandez who put in a cracking time of 128.487. So awesome time from him. Then was Juan Carres in the Porsche. He's sitting there in second. Steve Young in P3 in the 194 Porsche. Damien Sig, he will be starting from P4 on the grid in the 444 Ferrari. In another Ferrari, it's Mick Sharpenberry starting from 5th position. Then you got number 45. This is Lakshmi in P6. P7 it is Kenneth Smith. So he ended up getting up there in the top 10 in the end. Chris Rise at the death there of the session after it had gone 000. He will be starting from P8. Then you got Sean Vincent in the 144 Ferrari. He's going to be starting from P9. Mike Patrick there. He's going to be starting there in P10. Then you've got Jeremy Eastcott in the Ferrari. In the Bentley there, that's Jared King. Otero in 13th. You've got next to him, you have Robinson. He's going to be starting in 14th position. Then in 15th, you've got the other King on the grid. And right next to him is the number 54 for Porsche. That's belonging to Andrew Sherman. Then you've got, following him, you have Anthony as well in the 664 Porsche. The number 73 is Guarin in 18th. In 19th position, you got number 23. That's Sosa. Are we missing one here? Have we got someone that's supposed to be here? I'm not too sure. And then you've got the rest of the grid here as cars starting to warm up right now. And we're moments away from getting this one started. We've got someone with... hang on, I've got to do that, and that, and that, and then I'm good. Alright, so... drivers making their way off the grid. I did see a window wiper on Wilson Fernandez's car, but don't see anything now, so I might have just flicked the wrong button. But I don't see any weather. Track's at 23, air temperature 23, track is 29. It's considered as optimum right now as all the cars just filtering through on this warm-up lap. It's a pretty short one actually. It's only 11 turns, 4-kilometre circuit. Sharpenberry there in P5. Lakshmi as well had a good qualifying session, so did Smith. As we're getting a good look at the grid as they're coming down the back straight into turn 5, the Klein chicane. Of weaving, warming up those tyre temperatures. Definitely be interesting as well. Look, even the tyre warming process in terms of, especially with the new update with the core temperature changes and the surface temperature changes, more susceptible to spikes as well, and lowering of temperature, increasing of temperature. There's I'm Not Jimmy, Stu Skinner, Alvarez, and Bradley. None of these guys set a time in qualifying, so they're all happy to sit it out. Gary Otero, number 78 BMW. But yeah, so that especially with the core and the surface temperatures susceptible to spikes and cooling as well. So a lot of the feedback's been it's like driving a completely different, it varies from driving a completely different sim to not major changes to a lot of the setups that people had already pretty much made redundant, unfortunately. So going to be interesting to see that. Kenneth Smith's got the lights ablaze. I don't see any rain on the forecast, as Will Fernandez is going to lead them away to get the 70 minutes of Zolder. 2 pit stops required, no refueling, so 2 tyre stops, 70-minute sprint. There it is. Let's go racing. Looks like Carey's got a good start, so does Steve Young. It's going to be interesting to see them all file into turn 1. Sig was in there as well. And looks like they've all been able to filter through relatively safely, and everyone facing the right way. So Fernandez has taken the lead taken back the lead, in fact. Carrez in second now. Hunting him down. Steve Young's made a good start. So is Sig. And a good start from everyone. Everyone's able to get through the first handful of turns without any dramas. Oh, that was Lakshmi looking to put a move on Sky there. On Steve Young. Going around the outside. We've got a battle at the front as well. That's Carrez in the lead. So change of P1 right now. So it's Carrez, Fernandez, Lakshmi, Steve Young. Who else do we have back there? King and Smith as well. But a good start from everyone in the opening moments of this one. Here's our race leader. As they come around to complete the first lap of the 70-minute sprint race. But it's Carrez leading from Fernandez, Lakshmi, Scott, Young, McSharpenberry, Sig, Rise, Patrick, Smith and King. Looks like we've got some good battles, especially at the front right now. We're on board with Fernandez. And it's been a nice, clean and tidy start to everyone. Young hunting down Lakshmi, who's moved up, I think, 3 spots already. So he's had a great start to this one. A little bit further back, Patrick hunting down Rise, who's moved up a position already. Started in P8 up into P7. But the battle for the lead is what we want to be looking at right now. So go through the chicane one more time. Gives a bit of an idea from the air, but the field's still nice and compressed. Everyone facing the right way. All 24 cars still going on. We've got someone in the pits. We've got Robinson in the pits, so I'm not too sure what's happened to him there. I think he might have teleported back there by the looks of things. And that is where he is for now. So that puts a big dent in his race. We've got a couple of cars dropping down. So who have we got in? I wonder if actually, Robinson, that might be strategy. In fact, I reckon, because we've got to stop. It's a 2-stopper. Oh, makes a little bit of contact there. That's Anthony in the Porsche. Let's just see what happened there again as we look on the replay here. So they're going up the main straight. There was a little bit of contact there, right there. So a little bit of a bump. All's well that ends well. So back to live pictures. Oh, have a look at this little battle here. This is got quite a few cars involved down here in 13th position. That's Vincent getting in there as well. Anthony King, Alvarez. So go into the chicane. He's going to have to take the bumpy way through there. This is Eastcott that we're looking at. He's just managed to get past. No, Anthony was managed to get past him. Oh no, what's happened to Patrick? Just trying to pick him up here. Had a bit of a slide. Let's go have a look at the replay, see if we can see anything. Maybe if we go on board. Oh, that was Robinson. Oh, I reckon it might have just put him off there. Just distracted him for a second. And that was enough to just distract him enough, miss his braking marker, and that was it. So let's get back to the battle at the front though, because this is where a lot of the action is. It's Fernandez still hunting down Carrez. So they've swapped P1 and P2. We've got some really good battles forming here as well. As Fernandez all over the back of that Porsche. They're fighting their way through the chicane. Great stuff here. So race just settling down into a nice rhythm right now. Oh, wrong one. Wing, there we go. And Fernandez sending it up the inside. He gets the move done. Some nice work there from Wilson Fernandez. Let's just have a quick look at that again. As he goes up the inside here. And nice move. Perfect execution. And our new race leader is Wilson Fernandez. As we go back to live pictures. Chris Rise is in the pits, so that would be definitely strategy there playing out. There he is coming in there. Alvarez is all over the back of Patrick. And Fernandez has almost opened up a 1 second gap already. So he was significantly faster on the previous lap. And now Carres is just falling a little bit into the clutches of Lakshmi here. He'll be hoping to make his way past the Porsche. Really flinging their cars there through the Klein chicane at turn 5. Once again through the Villeneuve chicane at turn 7. So Lakshmi, he was 7/10 up on Carres on that last lap, a 1:30.772. Have a look at some of the other scraps that are going on a little bit further back. Andrew Sherman is all over the back of Valentine. So they come into turn 9 at the back half of the circuit. See if the Porsche can hang a little bit with the Ferrari. They're down 18th and 19th right now. So a good little scrap going on down there. It's a little bit of oversteer, a little bit raggedy out of that final turn, but all's well that ends well. What about Lakshmi? Oh, Eastcott and King, have a look at this. This is a great little battle down in 10th and 11th, and the Ferrari has managed to get past. And then King is going to come under attack straight away from that Vincent that we can see there in the 144 Ferrari. Oh, and then he had Anthony as well, who I think made a little bit of contact with him there. So this is all happening in 11th, 12th and 13th. In the meantime, Fernandez is just skipping out on Carres. He's 2.2 seconds down the road. As Anthony, so Vincent, Anthony and Otero all fight it out. The yellow Lamborghini there in the front of him is King. So this is a nice little battle group that we've got going on here. There was Andrew Sherman lurking in the background, and I saw the pink Lamborghini. Could only belong to one man, that's I'm Not Jimmy. This is a nice little group of cars though. Here, all battling it out for position. This is Jimmy. He gets the job done there, so sends it up the inside of turn 1 and takes P15, so nice work to him. The rest of these guys all battling it out right now, and then we've also got a lot of action at the front of the field as well. So Fernandez 2.5 seconds ahead of Carres. Lakshmi in P3 there. Steve Young 4th. McSharpenberry in P5 in the Ferrari. These guys all lapping in the 130s. Just a couple of tenths separating them all right now. And then we've got Anthony all over the back of Vincent. So we've got plenty of action going on everywhere. It's only 11 turns and 4 kilometres, but this circuit does certainly pack a bit of a punch. And we've got action going on everywhere. I'm Not Jimmy getting in there on Otero. Otero looking to make a move on Anthony. Anthony trying to make a move on Vincent, and Vincent trying to make a move on King. We're all fighting for the same piece of tarmac right now. And we're only 10 minutes into it as well. Had a few drivers that have decided to make one of their 2 pit stops, so no refueling, mandatory tyre stop. It's a 2 tyre stop race. As Jimmy making up another position here, and he'll get it completed before turn 1. He does, so that's 2 and 2 for him. Valentine and Sherman, they're going at it as well, and Sherman gets the job done on him, so he moves up into P18. So a couple of position swaps there for those guys. Back to 3rd, 4th and 5th. Lakshmi, Young and McSharpenberry, as well as Carres in the Porsche. They're all hunting down there. So that was Fernandez that we saw, but there's Carres, there's Lakshmi, there's Scott, there's Young and McSharpenberry and Sig just trying to hang on to the back of this group, as I'm Not Jimmy manages to take another position from Anthony, so moves his way up into P13 for now. Let's get back to this group at the front here. That was the Bentley of Jared King that we saw just briefly in the background there. And this is the view from onboard Steve Young. One last time out in Valencia last week. The new track. Following the 45 Ferrari of Lakshmi. So Fernandez, that last time around, a 30.222. Good time from him. A 129.3 is the fastest lap of the race. That belongs to him. The rest of these guys all lapping in the 30s. Damien Sig did a 129.960 on that last lap around. So of the top 6, he was the only driver to be lapping in the 29s. As Lakshmi now looking at the rear of Carres. He's got Steve Sky behind him. Go from on the bonnet view here. So we're on 130.727, just a 10th quicker last time around. Then Carres, the car that he's chasing. A bit of an idea of the overall picture of this little group here. Plenty of other action a little bit further back in the field. I'll try and capture all of it as much as I can. Overtaking opportunities pretty limited around this circuit. We've seen a few passes already into turn 1, which is one of the more favourable parts of the circuit for overtakes. Alvarez that we're looking at. He's all over the back of Mike Patrick there in 8th position. As we're almost 15 minutes into this one. Andrew Sherman looking to put a move on Guaren, the number 73 Mercedes. And gets it done. So nice move from him. Moves himself up into P16 for now. And Alvarez manages to get past Patrick. Let's have a look at that. Just pulling out of the toe. And gets the job done. So nice work from Alvarez, who moves his Lamborghini up into P8. As we come back to live pictures. There we are. Back to this group here, so they're continuing on. Let's see what the lap times are around this time. So Fernandez did a 30.3, 30.7, 30.5, 30.5, 30.5. So Lakshmi, Young and McSharpenberry all within a couple of hundredths of each other. Carres was 2 tenths slower on that previous lap as well. And it looks like Fernandez was the fastest of all of them. So, pretty hot pace at the front, 130s. And they're all extremely tight right now with 54 minutes still to go in this one. Drive-through penalty, track limits, car number 97. That's Stu Skinner. And Robinson looks like he's had an issue here as well. Just getting back going. Let's see what happened to him. So we have a look on the replay screen. Oh, he's just lost it on the exit. It's going around. And that is how he's ended up facing the wrong way. So as we go back to live pictures, and he's continuing to get his race back underway there. Back to this group at the front. So the action's still nice and hot between them all. Lakshmi, Young, McSharpenberry and Sig. You can throw a blanket over him right now. Fernandez, in the meantime, he's opened up a hefty gap on Carres. He is currently 5.8 seconds ahead, almost 6 seconds now of Carres. He just put in the fastest lap of the race, so a 29.872 was his. It's not actually, no, it's not the fastest, but it's still a cracking time of 29.8. Just showing purple on my screen for some reason. We go on board with Young, hunting down the Ferrari ahead of Lakshmi, the number 45. And looks like Sherman might have made a move on Ataro. Let's see if we can go back and have a look at that. And yeah, just sending it down the inside. Gets the job done at turn one, and nice and easy for him. And we'll go back to live pictures. There we are. And looks like Alvarez and Patrick have swapped positions again down there in 8th and 9th while we're looking at that replay. This will be an interesting little battle here between Jimmy and Vincent. So this is 12th and 13th. So I'm not Jimmy. Don't think he set a time in qualifying. And we've got guys coming into the pit. So that's McSharpenberry. I saw a big drop in positions, but that explains it. So McSharpenberry making his first stop, I do believe. So it's a 2-stop race, both for tyres, no refueling allowed. Let's see if Jimmy can wind up that Lamborghini for an attack into turn one. We've seen him make a couple passes there already. Not quite this time. Vincent's looking to do exactly the same there. He's got King just ahead of him in P10. You can see in the rear view the camera there, that bright pink Lamborghini belonging to Jimmy. So Vincent's the meat and the sandwich of this one. Currently sitting in P11. Would love to crack the top 10. So there's Jimmy. Get back to the guys at the front here. So this battle is still nice and hot right now between Sky and Lakshmi for 3rd and 4th. And Damien Siggs just dropped off the back here. In the meantime, Fernandez has really skipped out now. 8.1 seconds, 8.2. Massive gap. This is King coming into the pits. There he is. So he's making a pit stop. In the meantime, we'll stick with these guys here. Retro Coffins in the woods hiking, but hoping the racing has been awesome. Yeah, it has been awesome so far. It's been going for about 20 minutes now. And yeah, we've had some great stuff already in the 70 minutes of Zolder. Plenty of time left in this one as Carres leaping over the chicane. We've seen him do that many times already. As we go back on board with Young, we pick him up as he's doing the exact same through the Villeneuve chicane this time. Might have a look at Lakshmi up ahead. So he was the 10th faster on the previous lap over Carres. So we're all within half a second of one another. Nice and close racing. Got quite a few drivers in the pits. Vincent, King, Valentine and Skinner. So I think Stu Skinner might have been serving his drive-through penalty for track limits. Only driver to get that so far. Saw plenty of that last week at Valencia. So that seemed to be one of the characteristics. Turn 12. Looks like it was quite a handful as King coming out. That was a bit of an awkward entry, wasn't it? Just in terms of the track characteristic, not from Dylan King. Essentially that SIG just slipping past there. And so the guys at the front, Fernandez, what's happened? Oh no, our race leader has made a mistake there. I think that was, where was that? Let's see the replay here. Go on board with him. This is at turn 5, and he's just hit it the wrong way, and he's gone around. And that was enough to upset. He's hit the wall pretty hard there too, so that's going to cause some damage as we go back to live pictures, as we pick him up. That's going to cost him a heap of time, both on track and in the pits, so the other guys won't necessarily be fully aware of that. He should come into the pits now, you would think. No, he doesn't, so he's going to continue around, so that damage mustn't be enough to force him into the pits. So here's Carres, he's coming into the pits. It's a bit of organised chaos right now, just in terms of 2 pit stops in this race. No refueling, both for tyres. And guys on different strategies. So the top, what have we got? The top 9 have all yet to pit so far, as Carres and Eastcott are in there. So that will change that number slightly. This is Sig. He's currently in P3. Just trying to find some on-track action. This is Jared King. So he's all over the back of Alvarez in the 716 Lamborghini. On board in the big Bentley. You don't see too many of these days. Fun car to drive though, very forgiving. Front engined, nice and heavy. And doing well around here, P14. Wouldn't have thought this circuit would necessarily suit it. Not particularly nimble. Guarin. Okay, so this is that's at turn 5, I think. Let's see how he got there as we go to the replay screen. So he's by himself here. And has he suffered the same fate as our race leader? The back end was almost stepping out before we got through there. So, another one as well, add a little bit of insult to injury as we go back to live pictures. So he's up and running again. Lakshmi and Sig, they're making their stops now. Fernandez, he hasn't stopped yet, so he'll continue around. Now Sherman, he hasn't stopped yet, neither is Brad Lee. So the driver who has stopped already and is the highest is P7, that's Steve Young right now. So he's in the box seat at this stage. Carres is 3.8 seconds behind him, you can see there as he comes through, and then McSharpenberry is right there next to him. So that's essentially your net P1, 2, 3 at this stage, as Guarin decides to come into the pits after his little excursion on that lap. As these two battling it out. Currently P8 and 9 right now, as we see a flash of the Porsche belonging to Young. A couple of other little battles on the track is Alvarez and King, as Guarin just dropping down the times there. So we'll get back to it here. Picked this up early. This is where we flicked away from. It's been a bit chaotic, to be honest. It's been stuff all over the place here. Such a tight circuit, so much action. We've still got 24 cars as well. So here's Alvarez trying to go around the outside, down the inside. Sorry, a little bit of contact there, and King might be the beneficiary. They go 3 wide up the back straight. Have a look at this. Oh, more contact. Plenty of bumping. Oh, then he's lost the back end and flown across the chicane. So lucky not to hit anyone there, Alvarez. Oh, that unfortunately ended in tears for him. Let's go back to the replay here and have a look at this. So King gets through as Alvarez slides across the and bang into the wall there, going across the chicane. So as we go back to live pictures, wow, that was hard in mouth stuff. So lucky not to hit anyone there. Made for awesome pictures, but I'm sure Alvarez did not enjoy that at all. So we're back with Chris Rise. He's hunting down King. He's got Kenneth Smith not far behind. Might just skip across to McSharpenberry, because he's hunting down Juan Carres, who's sitting in P6 right now. Drivers yet to pit: Fernandez, Sherman and Bradley. They're P1, 2, 3. So essentially our net leader is Steve Young in the 194 Porsche. He's 14 seconds off Bradley. Lakshmi is 3.2 behind Steve Young for now. We'll stick with this battle here, as we're almost at the 30-minute mark. Won't be too far away from halfway after that. And that's just a Captain Obvious point there. We're riding with Sharpenberry. So last lap around, a 1:30.405. Carres did a 30.417. Let's see what it shapes out to be this time around. New update, they were expecting top speeds to increase as well. Carres a 30.487, a 30.485 to McSharpenberry. So nothing in it. In terms of top speeds, 229 kilometres an hour belongs to Steve Young in the Porsche. You can often see that. 230 to I'm Not Jimmy, King and Sosa as well. So they'll continue their battle right now. Bradley, he's in the pits, so that was one of our race leaders. And Fernandez is in the pits as well, so pitting later than most other drivers. So let's see Steve Young. He's currently coming through, I think that's through 9 and 10 now. Fernandez still stationary. Young just about to make his way through 11. Fernandez making his way out now. Here comes Young across the line. This is going to be super tight here. There we go. We can see. No, it's not going to be tight at all, because it's quite a long pit lane, isn't it? You can get going from here though. And so Fernandez fallen down a couple of spots. So that damaged that little mistake that he made. And he's going to come out behind McSharpenberry. So P6 for now. Net P5. Andrew Sherman is our race leader, but he is yet to pit. So have to wait for that to shake out. And I wonder if he stopped a little bit longer to repair. It does look like he did. So a minute 14. So that's 7 to 8 seconds longer than the drivers ahead. He was stopped for 7 to 8 more seconds, in fact. So that is an indication he probably got that damage repaired, and he's back to a 100% healthy car, as he's all over the back of McSharpenberry right now, who's doing the same to Juan Carres in P4 as our race leader. Andrew Sherman, he makes his way into the pits, and that means that Steve Young will inherit the lead. And if he can hold on to that for another 3 minutes and change, he'll be our race leader at the halfway mark as we continue to follow Fernandez. See what he can do here. Alright, pulls out of the draft, and there it is. He gets it done, so nice work to him. He takes P4 away. He's able to hold it, runs a little bit wide through turn 1, but there's no dramas with doing it through there, that part of the circuit. And away he goes. So he's going to now try and hunt down Juan Carres. And he's been looking at the back of that Porsche for a little while already. And Carres is now hunting down Lakshmi. So last lap around, Lakshmi did a 31.3. Carres did a 29.9. So had the speed advantage there by about 4 tenths. So we'll see if he can put that to good use. As Chris Rise, he is making, I believe, his second stop. Yeah, that'll be his second. He'll be all done. And he'll be able to just put his head down, eyes forward, and see how high he can get up in the standings. I won't use puns, because, not too sure if you watched the F1 coverage, but I'm kind of over the Taylor Swift puns that David Croft is doing. Once it's funny, twice is, kind of funny, 3 times it's just a bit boring. After about the 10th time, it's just like, I want to chuck something at the TV. So this is Fernandez that we're riding on board with. No, Carres, sorry. That's Fernandez that we're looking at from the rear, and looks like Kenneth Smith is coming into the pits as well. So Steve Young is leading this race 4.5 seconds up the road from Arjun Lakshmi, and Juan Carres in hot pursuit, as is Fernandez of him. We're on board with Fernandez now. His last lap he just did 29.760. He's got good pace right now. Cars will start to feel a little bit lighter as we're almost at halfway. No refueling allowed. So we've started with full tanks. We've got a little bit more action here. A little bit further back in the field, that's Guiran and Brad Lee down there in 17th and 18th. Might get back to Fernandez and Carres up there in 3rd and 4th right now. Not quite close enough here to have a go. Last lap around, Fernandez 29.567. Was an invalidated lap, just to note there. We've seen one car already get a drive-through penalty for track limits, and he's hunting down Carres, who did a 30 flat. So a good half a second advantage there to Fernandez. We'll be looking to put it to good use. So he goes, heads up the back straight here. That's Lakshmi. He did a 129.675, and Steve Young did a 29.792. So Damien Sig just back there as well, all over the back of McSharpenberry. Fernandez closing up a little bit further on Carres. So we're officially in the second half of this one. Ooh, he runs a little bit wide there. That's going to cost him some time. What about Sig? Can he have a go here? No, not at this stage. Through turn one, we've seen plenty of overtaking happen through there already in the first half. Nothing to see on this particular lap, although he is closing up here, so he pulled out of that there. I don't think it was a mistake. I think he pulled out. Let's skip across to these two though. This is Fernandez and Carres still going at it. I think we saw that was with Sharpenberg, I think, struggling through the turn 5 chicane. Oh, Fernandez very eager to try and get past Carres, but in doing so, he's just gone a little bit ragged and just lost a little bit of time there. So that gap has now drifted. Still, Steve Young though, 4.5 seconds ahead of Lakshmi, who this is all benefiting him right now with Carres and Fernandez squabbling amongst themselves. He's still at good pace, a 29.980, identical time to Carres' last lap around. Fernandez was a couple of tenths slower, and Lakshmi and Carres almost identical lap times once again. So pace very, very similar at the front. It's going to be a case of trying to force a mistake out of someone up ahead. Might just have a look at Eastcott as well. He's down there in 14th. He's got Anthony up ahead of him, as well as Vincent. So Vincent's 12th, Anthony 13th, 14th is Eastcott. So filter through turn 1. No issues through there. Tricky corner, this one here. Just a little bit of coast through there is what's required. Anthony though, he's all over the back of Vincent. They're coming into turn 5, the Klein chicane. You stick with this. That Porsche, a little bit of cosmetic damage. The Ferrari, sorry, up ahead, a little bit of cosmetic damage. Perhaps a little bit of Morse code earlier on in the race. Might skip away just momentarily because we've got Fernandez. He's right on the back now of Carres. Less than half a second the gap between these two. I think that's some lap traffic up ahead. So they'll be receiving the blue flags. And talk about tough track to pass on, let alone when you've got the faster cars coming through. Oh, look at this, but Fernandez is going to use the lap traffic to his advantage, sends it up the inside of turn 5, and that was awesome. That was a great move. Let's watch that again. Let's go on the replay here. So I pointed it out that there's some lap traffic up ahead, and Fernandez says, yep, I'm going to use that to my advantage. I'm going to go 3 wide. I'll squeeze up through the middle here, up the inside, and I'll take that position away from Juan Carres. That was a great move from Wilson Fernandez. Beautiful work as we go back to live pictures. And Sig, what's happened to him? Let's catch the replay now. We put him on the replay screen. Oh, yeah, this is through the Villeneuve chicane, and then he's hit those sausage curbs, and that's just unsettled the rear of the car, spun him around. That's a dangerous position to be in there, and just got out of the way nice and quickly, and he'll get his race back underway as we go back to live pictures. But Wilson Fernandez, that was the move of the race. That was awesome. So great racing from him. Great driving to go 3 wide. There was the lap car there as well. Awesome respect shown by everyone through there. This is Anthony now. He's down there in 13th. I think, do they have, that's Vincent up ahead of them, in fact. Yep, so that's 4th position. We're looking at Vincent earlier on. We're going to see a bit more. No, I was going to say we're going to see a bit more 3 wide traffic, but we won't. But this is Anthony trying to put a move on Vincent through turn 1. Vincent runs a little bit wide. They make a bit of contact there. And then that's Eastcott who's... Oh, he gets punted from behind. And unfortunately, that's all ended in tears there. And Vincent and Eastcott, unfortunately, the big losers out of that one. So there is no live stewarding in this one. There's no need for redressing. That might be brought up a little bit later on this evening or afternoon, depending on what time zone you're in. But we'll leave that right there. In the meantime, Andrew Sherman, we've got more action coming at you. He's all over the back of I'm Not Jimmy. I don't believe these 2 guys qualified. Both of them have made their first stops already. And Jimmy in the number 69 Lamborghini, that signature colour of pink, being hunted down by Andrew Sherman right now in the 54 Porsche. He's got King just behind him in the Lamborghini. You can just see there as we're looking from the rear of Sherman, who's looking at the rear of Jimmy. Come through turn 11 now. And can the Porsche put a move on here? Jimmy going defensive, covering off the inside line. He'd know all about that. He's taken a few positions through there already. So he knows exactly where to position his car. And nice driving. These 2 would be very familiar with each other. And Sherman now, look at that. Doesn't get much closer than that. Oh, they make a bit of contact. Oh, and Jimmy has gone around. Let's quickly catch that on the replay here. Might go on board with Jimmy. So there it was. And unfortunately around he went, and that was the view that he had. That did not look enjoyable at all from Jimmy. So in the meantime, King and Sherman in 9th and 10th. And what's happened to Vincent? Let's see if we can see anything here. I think he's just pitted it. I think doesn't say that he's in a stop here. I'll get back to action on the track. We'll go back to live pictures in a moment. Live pictures now. There we go. We're back. So yeah, not too sure what that was about with Vincent, but maybe some technical issues potentially. Not sure. In the meantime, though, Fernandez, he's all over the back of Lakshmi, the 2 Ferraris in 2nd and 3rd. Steve Young is still out in front. He's 4.7 seconds ahead. You can just see a flash of him. Kicks up a puff of dust. These 2 chasing him down right now. After we saw definitely what would be the move of the race from Fernandez earlier on. He's looking to repeat the dose here on Lakshmi. Last lap around. Fernandez was a whole second quicker. 1:44 disqualified for speeding in the pit lane. That's Sean Vincent. So that is his race done. As Fernandez now hunting down Lakshmi. Will we see passing to turn 1 as we've seen so often already in this race? Only 25 minutes remaining. Not quite, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's over around here. Fernandez was 7/10 quicker on that last lap. It was an invalidated lap as well. I'll just note that for the record. And Fernandez now into the line chicane, turn 5. Look at that. Throwing it over the curves. They're coming through Villeneuve chicane now. And the 888 Ferrari just pouring the pressure on Lakshmi, who's so far been able to absorb it. He gets a couple of wheels out onto the grass, and that was enough to open up the opportunity for Fernandez, and he slips through. So a little mistake there from Lakshmi has cost him a position. And Wilson Fernandez, our pole sitter, is now in P2. It's about 5 seconds down the road. Oh, and I think that's Steve Young who's coming into the pits. So this is our race leader into the pits now. Wilson Fernandez, this is his opportunity. He's got fresh air. He's going to have to push like crazy. After that mistake that we saw just before the pit stop, he ended up coming out in P6. He's worked himself back up into P1 now, in fact. But Young, though, he's making his stop. And just having a look at the track map, Fernandez has got plenty of fresh air. A 1:29.905 was his last lap of the race. Looks like he was the only car lapping in the 29s as well. On that last lap, King is in there as well. Coming through the Villeneuve chicane. So on track action, a little bit quiet now. I think we're all getting ready for the second round of pit stops. Well, a lot of them have already happened, to be fair. So the top 6 haven't yet to make their second stop. King and Otero are in there now, but Sherman, Garen and Brad Lee all need to make their stops. And there's Young coming out now of the pits. And Fernandez won't respond straight away to the pit stop of Young. Let's see what lap time he does in some fresh air, knowing what the opportunity is. A 29.070, so the fastest lap of the race. Wilson Fernandez has responded to this opportunity, and he has put the hammer down, and he is ready to go. Sig and King. I think that's King in the pits. It is. So is that? That's not a car. Full position behind him. On track action. Kenneth Smith and Mike Patrick down there in 12th and 13th. So that's the closest on track action that we have. I'll keep an eye on Fernandez as well. Steve Young, he's come out in P8. So that's a minute 5 to the leader. And Fernandez's last pit stop was a minute 14. That pit stop to Steve Young was a minute 06. So this could be super, super close. We'll see if Fernandez decides to stop on this lap, and we'll see what time it was. He responded with the fastest lap of the race. This will be very interesting to see. He's not far from crossing the line now. Let's see what this time is on this lap. A 1:29.690. So not quite as fast. Drive-through penalty, car number 22. That's Jared King speeding in the pit lane. So a little bit too eager with the accelerated pedal. And he now finds himself with a drive-through penalty next to his name. That's really ruined his race, because he's in P8 right now. And he's got a bunch of cars ahead of him who are yet to stop for their second stop. So that is some serious bad luck for him. Just having a look at Steve Young's lap times as well. So this will be the first timed lap for him, if you like. Give us a good indication of his pace. Fresh tyres, lower fuel load. That was Juan Carres, but that wasn't for position. That was lap traffic. Sticking with Kenneth Smith and Mike Patrick right now. They're the fastest cars out on the circuit. Might flick across to Steve Young, see what time he does. Ooh, 29.872, so 2/10 slower than Fernandez on that previous lap, as Lakshmi is making his second stop, final stop of the day. And Fernandez is coming in as well. So the gap is about 1:07. This is going to be crucial that he hits his marks here, that he gets this right. That's King coming in to serve his drive-through penalty. So I doubt that he would be particularly happy. That's Carres into the pits as well. In the meantime, McSharpenberry, he comes through and inherits the lead. So Fernandez is stationary now. Let's go across to Steve Young. Where's he? He's coming through. That's the Villeneuve chicane now. And Fernandez has been stationary for 35. So total pit time now, 36 seconds. This is going to be close as we get the signal that King has cleared his his drive-through penalty. Back to Young. So Fernandez is on his way now. This is looking good for him. This is Steve Young coming up the main straight. Fernandez almost allowed to exit the pit lane. He'll want to make sure he doesn't hit that limiter too quickly. Off he goes. And here's Young. And there is Fernandez. Fernandez tucked in behind. This is going to be awesome. So we've got just a tick under 18 minutes remaining. And this is essentially net P1 and P2. Steve Young looking to make it 2 wins on the trot here in Pan Am Racing. He's got Fernandez in the 888 Ferrari tucked in behind him. He's got 17.5 minutes of defending left to do to see if he can claim 2 from 2. After the update here, looking like it's definitely suiting him right now in that Porsche. That is Robinson up ahead. He's currently P22 right now. So he's not had a good time of it, as McSharpenberry and Sig are now in the pits. Andrew Sherman will inherit the lead, but he has... no, he won't. He's coming into the pits now as well. So cracking race here. This has been good stuff. This has been fun and exciting. I've liked the 2-stop idea here. No fuel, just tyres. And yeah, I'm a fan. It's been a winner. As Robinson will just pull over to the right. Gets out of the way. Nice work from him. Fernandez will be hoping to be able to do the same here. Not quite close enough to do it through here, but he won't want Steve Young to get too far away. Stop and go, 30-second penalty, speeding in pit lane. Car number 296, that's McSharpenberry, that's our race leader, but he is not our outright leader as Robinson lets the 888 Ferrari Fernandez go through. 1.4 seconds is the gap, but this is for the race lead. Stop-go penalty is cleared for car number 22. I think that's King, Jared King. He's all sorted. Garen and Sig, the timing screen's going a little bit crazy right now. This is Patrick and Rice, so Chris Rice. Really solid race from him today, P8. Mike Patrick trying his best to take that away from him. We'll get back to Fernandez and Young momentarily. Let's just see how this pans out here. Mike Patrick looking closely at the rear of Chris Rice's Porsche. They head through into the Villeneuve chicane. Head up into turn 9 now. That's King in the background there. Let's see if anything comes of this. I'll jump over to the Fernandez-Young battle in a moment. Just want to see if there's any action through here between these two into turn 1. McSharpenberry making his way into the pits. So So he's got a stop-go 30-second penalty. I don't think anything's going to come of this one here. It's not. So I'll go back to these two, both with their lights on. So track at optimum. 23 degrees air temperature, 29 degrees track temperature. No weather of any sorts on the way for the remaining 14 minutes of this one. And this is the view from inside the cockpit of the 888 Ferrari. Fernandez, last time around, he did a 29.395. Young did a 29.905. So Fernandez has done a little bit of everything today. He's had the overtake of the race. He put it on pole position. He had a little bit of a mistake. And then he's had the fastest lap of the race and he's come back. Dropped as low as P6. And now is currently in P2, hunting down the white Porsche, the 194 Porsche of Steve Young. Go through turn 1 now. Time becoming a bit more critical here. 13 minutes and change remaining. Carres is hunting down Lakshmi, who's put on a fantastic effort, I have to say. Great result for him and the number 45 Ferrari. He's battled up the top for most of the race. There's Fernandez. See what the top speeds are like. So Fernandez 230 kilometres, 229 kilometres to the Porsche. So a 1 kilometre difference between the two. And both these cars able to ride the bumps of the Villeneuve chicane with no dramas at all. So last lap around 29.5 to 29.4, so a tenth in it between these two. Both got lights ablaze right now. They go up the front straight. The wind turbines in the foreground. Nice smooth lines through turn 1 there. 29.150 to Steve Young. A 28.907. So that is some hot pace. It's the fastest lap of the race to Fernandez. So he is on absolute fire right now. And Steve Young has got a battle on his hands. He's going to have to absorb everything Fernandez throws at him here. Gets a little bit loose there through the Klein chicane. You've already seen him make a little mistake there. Generally when he hit the curb the wrong way at the rear of the car is Steve Young throwing his Porsche through the Villeneuve chicane. So both these guys absolutely pushing as hard as they can. And Steve Young just trying to open up a little bit of breathing space. Alvarez and Rise, looks like Alberto Alvarez manages to get the job done. Let's go to the replay screen and have a look at that. That's around the outside. And executes the pass nicely. I think that's Kenneth Smith in the background there as well. So nice work from Alberto Alvarez. Moves up into P7. Chris Rise into P8 as we go back to live pictures. And we're looking at the battle for the lead. It's nothing in it. It's 0.4 of a second between these two. But you can see the visible gap right now. Last lap around, a 29.462 to Steve Young, a 29.547. So Young replies with a faster lap this time around. Entering the final 10 minutes is Kenneth Smith now getting the move done on Chris Rise. That's Andrew Sherman coming through there as well. We've already seen plenty of action. Alberto Alvarez is looking to make a move on Mike Patrick. So in the closing stages of this one, we've still got plenty more action being thrown at us. It's been coming thick and fast so far this race. Look at this. Almost 3 wide again. We've seen this a couple of times. Down the rear straight into, in this case, the front straight. And that's Sherman there trying to get a bit of a run here. And is he going to get the move done? I think he is. He does. Can he take 2 spots here? Kenneth Smith and Chris Rice. He does. That's Darren King. Oh no, that's that's Jared King in the Bentley. I think he's a lapped car right now. And nice move there from Andrew Sherman. Oh, that's Chris Rice coming back on Kenneth Smith. So a few positions being swapped there. Andrew Sherman, the biggest beneficiary, and that's Jared King just getting out of the way for one of the Lamborghinis coming through, I think it was. So that's Darren King. Yeah, he's not too sure if it's a relation or not. I won't speculate. But here we go. Fernandez and Sky. Have a look at this. Last lap around 29.897 to Young. 29.767 to Fernandez. Nothing in it between these two. A tenth of a second. This has been a cracking battle. Oh no! He got a little bit. He hit the curb there. And let's have a look at the replay. How did this one pan out here? So I think the back end just wanted to turn around. So he hit the on the grass already. Oh, he's hit the curb pretty hard through there. Oh, then he was already turning around. And then Fernandez just didn't really have anywhere to go. And unfortunately, as we go back to live pictures, Steve Young, he's dropped down into P4 because of that. So an unfortunate end to that battle. That was really shaping up to be completely enthralling and entertaining till the end there. But it's ended like that, unfortunately. So I won't speculate. There wasn't any. I don't think there was any malicious intent from my perspective there, but we'll let those guys sort it out after the race. It looked like it was just one of those things to me where that Porsche was, that back end was stepping around and Fernandez didn't really have anywhere to go. So we'll let them sort it out afterwards, and we'll enjoy the final 7 minutes left of this one. This is Mike Patrick and Alberto Alvarez. They're in 6 and 7, so great result for those two. Have a look at this though. Look at this little battle group just forming right now. So that's Rise in the Porsche, Kenneth Smith in the Mercedes, then King in the Lamborghini, and Anthony in the other Porsche. Just hunting them down as well. As we're entering the final 7 minutes left of the 70-minute sprint race for Pan Am Racing. Hope you've enjoyed it. This has been an absolutely cracking battle. I've loved this. This has been fun. Zolder has turned it on for us. The only thing we could have had was nicer weather, but other than that, the racing has been phenomenal. All of these guys fighting position, bar one. That's unfortunately Jared King. He was having a great race, but that penalty for him just hit at the absolute worst time possible. As King going to put a move on Smith. He's looking to do the same. Oh, we get a little bit of, I thought it was a little bit of contact there from behind, but nothing's doing. Ah, that was Rise. So he's going to lose a bunch of spots there, 3 in fact. So just that little mistake. Let's see what happened with Chris Rise. Let's go on board with him. So going through turn 6. And then he just wasn't able to pull it up in time. And that's caused him to head into the gravel pit. And there's 3 positions lost in the blink of an eye. So unfortunate for Chris Rise. He was priming himself for a big one here, but he's just dropped positions late in this one and finds himself in P12 for now. So last 5 minutes remaining here. We're looking at Dylan King. He's trying to get past the Mercedes of Kenneth Smith. Fast in practice, had a decent qualifying and has had a good race as well. Just giving you an idea on the, while I'm not looking at the lead, Wilson Fernandez is 7.8 seconds ahead of Juan Carrez. Lakshmi is in P3. He's 2.2 seconds behind him. Steve Young in 4th there, 14.5. Damien Sig 14.6 seconds. So this is the closest action on the track that we have. The top 6 are pretty much all sorted at this stage. Well, it's still up for grabs 6th and 7th right now between Alvarez and Patrick. But I'm just trying to follow the closest cars out on circuit, which is these 3 right now. Smith, King and Anthony. Eastcott just trying to insert himself into it as well. That's King, is a lapped car. You see the blue flag waving there for the Bentley. He's got Chris Rise up ahead of him in P12, who'll be desperately trying to hang on and not lose any more positions in this one. We saw him lose 3 in a corner only moments ago as King gets out of the way there. And this is Anthony and the other King. So Anthony looking to send it down the inside of turn 1. Not able to make a move through there. So this is for 10th and 11th. I'm sure Anthony would love to be able to snag a top 10 finish here. King making up ground, in fact, on the Mercedes. So Kenneth Smith now coming under a little bit of attack here. We've got 3 minutes left in this one, maybe another couple of laps. And that will be all she wrote for the 70 minutes sprint race of Zolder. As they go down through turn 6 now. Fernandez 9.1 seconds up the road, just trying to pick up where he might be to give us an indication. Yeah, maybe another lap, 2.5. Yeah, probably another lap after this one. And looks like Eastcott has managed to get... Oh, Fernandez! What's happened, Fernandez? Where are you? Oh, he's made another mistake. And where's Carez? I don't think he's close enough to find out what... let's see what happened here as we go to the replay. Oh, is this at turn 11? Oh, he's just hit the bump again and he's turned around. So, and he makes a little bit of light contact with the wall. I reckon he might have gotten away with that. He was far enough ahead as we go back to live pictures now. And yeah, he's managed to get away with that late in the race. So Wilson Fernandez has definitely lived dangerously. There's Carez just a little bit further back. And I think we're going to have to do one more after this. Let's see when he gets to the line. No, I think this will be the last lap of the race. I reckon it will be. We didn't get the official signal, but he's been lapping in the 128s, 120, well, 129, 130s. This will be very interesting to see. I'll keep an eye on that. In the meantime, King and Anthony as well as Smith. So King hunting down Smith. Anthony just trying to hang in there. And Eastcott we saw get past Chris Rise as well. This might be the final lap. We didn't get the official signal, but that doesn't mean that it won't end. As we go on board with King, staring at the rear of the Mercedes belonging to Kenneth Smith. And there's Anthony. He's just trying to make a move as well. So we go through turn 1. So no changes there. Wilson Fernandez is almost coming to the end of this lap. So we put it on pole position. He's definitely had his fair share of dramas in this one, but this could possibly be the last lap. I'm not 100% sure. He could slow down to make sure that it is. Is it? I think it's going to be. Yeah, so Wilson Fernandez, congratulations. He takes the checkered flag. Well done to him. He takes victory. Juan Carez, he comes home in P2. Lakshmi in P3. Steve Young, it's unfortunate at the end there. He was in contention for race victory, but he's going to come through the final turn. He will take out P4, so still a solid result from him in the 194 Porsche. Congratulations to him. Damien Sig, he will be coming home now in P5. So great result for him. So awesome work from Damien Sig. He'll finish in the 444 Ferrari in P5. Well done. Alberto Alvarez, he's had a really solid result. Congratulations to him, P6. Mike Patrick in 7th. And now we're looking at this battle here between Smith, King, and Anthony. Is Anthony going to be able to get it on the line? Oh, almost. So Anthony did get it on the line there. So Smith 8th, Anthony 9th, King 10th, Eastcott 11th, Chris Rice 12th, Jimmy 13th, McSharp and Berry about to come through in P14. And we'll see the final runner, Andrew Sherman 15th, and then Otero coming home in P16. You've got Valentine, Bradley, King, Guarin, and Robinson. But at the end of the day, it was this man here on screen, just that Ferrari at the rear. That's Damien Sig in front of it. Wilson Fernandez, what a cracking race that was. He's taken home victory. Juan Carres in P2. And third is Lakshmi as well. That's your podium. Young, Sig, Alvarez, Patrick, Smith, King, Eastcott, and Wilson Fernandez. Just sorry, Sky there in the chat as well. So that is the 70 minutes of Zolder all done in the books. I hope you enjoyed that. That was a cracking race. That was a lot of fun. Now the Summer Series is going to kick off, I believe, next week. Let me just bring this up here. What have we got? Event calendar. So, yeah, I believe round 1 is going to be, May 6th. So, Saturday, May 6th. This is Northern Hemisphere time. Round 1 of the Summer Championship. Not too sure what circuit it is, but hoping to bring that to you next week. Looking forward to the championship kicking off. We've got the 4 hours of Suzuka coming up, and then round 2, which will fill May for now. So hopefully we can bring that to you next week and in the coming weeks on the Ruse TV network. In the meantime, I hope you all enjoyed that. That was a cracking race. Congratulations to Wilson Fernandez, who took out victory. Juan Carres and Lakshmi as well on the podium. That's it for everyone. So thank you very much. My name